Hey fam, there's this tweet going out across X, formerly known as Twitter, and it is define entitlement. This is actually a very interesting statement. We all know entitlement means the belief that someone deserves certain privileges, special treatment, most times without putting in work or earning it. But this tweet is asking if anyone have come across an entitled person. People actually have got a lot to say, but let's check out this few. Gbenga on X said when he moved into an estate, one of the landlord made a visit to him, introduced himself and what he does. So he mentioned his wife is a caterer. So when his son wanted to celebrate his birthday, he called this landlord's wife to get a budget for 40 guests. She delivered and he paid, as it should be. So he was surprised when on the day of the party, the landlord, his wife and 6 children arrived at his house to attend the party without invitation to either the landlord or his wife, and still they brought along their 6 children. Mr. Gbenga felt these uninvited guests were entitled to crash his son's party because of just one business deal they had. He thought they were inconsiderate because they knew his budget was for 40 invited guests. For this reason, he had to order another food to be delivered. I think it's actually nice of Mr. Gbenga to have welcomed them calmly and not turned them back. I applaud him for that. I think Lanz's encounter with an entitled person did him a lot. For him to make a conclusion that all Naija babe no suppose dey okay. He said he met a girl at a lounge, they had a chat and exchanged numbers. They had a conversation that night and it was cool. But the next morning, he woke to a text from this girl saying she needed his help to buy a generator and air conditioner for her business, that she would help her with a whole sum of 850,000 naira. He said he didn't even know this lady had a business, he didn't know what she was into. He had to read the message to confirm if it's actually real. And that anytime he sees a generator humming, he always laughed because it reminds him of the lady. It's actually the audacity for me. Because how can you meet a person for just one day and you are demanding such from him? This lady doesn't even know if you can afford a generator for himself. This one is actually relatable. I believe half of Nigeria have experienced this, especially if it concerns a neighbor. In every house, there is one neighbor of such character. Daddy issues. Said some neighbor no suppose see a room. That one evening, he had just renewed his subscription on Netflix and was ready to enjoy his evening when he heard a knock on his door. It was his neighbor who politely requested for his hotspot to be shared with her, that she needed to use it quickly. He said he was a kind man and connected for her. The next day, his network began fluctuating. He couldn't enjoy his browsing. He realized the third day when he was trying to watch Netflix and it kept on pausing midway. So he decided to check the connected devices. That is where he saw what his eyes could not believe. There is a big mommy iPhone connected to his hotspot. He said a small kindness had turned into a community empowerment scheme. He changed the password and not long after, there is a knock again which comes with a voice saying the network is not connecting. He said that day was when he realized he has got huge self-control. That's another audacity. This lady shared her own story too, and the entitled person in her life happens to be her roommate, whom she offered a free room to stay for a year. And the following year, they were going to split the rent fee into two. This person agreed to the arrangement, and everything was going fine until she realized this roommate was monitoring her pocket. She always wanted to know when her parents and siblings sent her money, so she could get her own share. She most times make payments for whatever they both ordered. The final stage was when this roommate demanded instead of paying for things they got, she should send the money into her account. And then when it was time to renew rent, this roommate said the lady father is selfish, that what will it cost him to pay for the rent and she can again have a free place to stay in. This lady said she didn't discuss further with her, she simply quietly moved out and got another house. Wow, I like that. Daddy issues again, but this time is with an Instagram lady. He said Instagram girls are white and madness lives in their hearts. Before he started X, he was a user of Instagram where he met a lady by the name Daisy. He said this Daisy is really beautiful, innocent look, and soft spoken. She was a 10 to him. One day they planned to hang out and get to know each other better. And then one moment she asked, "How much are you budgeting monthly for me?" He said he was surprised and thought she was joking. But again she repeated, "How much are you budgeting monthly for me?" She told him her last relationship and her allowance from the ex was 150,000 naira. She ended it with, "If a man is serious, he invests in his girl." Wow, then it's happening. This one is very funny. I don't want to believe it's true. Sugar Boy met a girl at a mall, exchanged numbers and chatted for a few weeks. One evening, he got a call from this lady saying her goldfish is depressed, that she needed 50,000 naira to cover for a session with a therapist that will guide the goldfish through emotional trauma. Can somebody please make this make sense to me? Ofiat Bukola's story is a really weird one. Ofiat started dating a guy she met through a friend. One day, a friend called to call her a betrayer and reminded her that she had a crush on the guy years ago. That how could she have dated him when she knew of her feelings? Ofiat said it was only a crush that never got past it, and that was years ago, but the friend wouldn't have it and felt like she didn't value her feelings. Like I said, this one is really weird.